Hello, hello, greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is your Goddess Guru, Tyra Omilade. Y'all know I love helping women, my sisters, align with their life purpose so that they confidently and courageously live the amazing lives y'all know you deserve. Hey, y'all, it's all about the goddess centered lifestyle. And I wanted to come on today and just talk a little bit about something that I'm noticing. I do my best. Like I told y'all, I need to just be minding my own business. But I do now find so much to be interesting because I see the world within the lens of astrology. And so I just have noticed people are talking about Monique, the comedian and actress that so many of us here in the United States love. And she is really and truly having to explain her comments on the sisters wearing the bonnets. Hello, how are you doing, Shivani? Welcome. So, first and foremost, how are you all doing? We are in the time between the eclipses. We are in the midst of Mercury retrograde. We have three planets retrograde. By the end of this month, we'll have even more planets retrograde. It's a lot going on. I've told y'all before, we're in this time where the energy is very mutable. And so when we have a lot of mutable energy, we have to be cautious of people who are scammers, or we have to be cautious of, let me make sure I put this, hold on a second. Yes, it is public. Okay. We have to be cautious of just people trying to get over on us. It's a time where things can just really seem to be confusing, especially as we go into this part of the week. And so, Shivani, if you look down at the bottom of the screen, goddessbodymindspirit.com, that's where you go to put in your reading request. Pretty soon, I will be doing some live readings, especially on YouTube. That's typically where people can request the live readings where you can do it live. We'll do it live. It'll all just be like I am talking to you all right now live. If we do have people on the replay, hashtag replay for real, hashtag replay. The replay is respectable. Let me know that you're here watching via the replay. I love it when people watch the replay. Hello, Eileen. Welcome. Hello, T. Luna. M. Hotep. How are you? Okay, awesome. She said she has yet to leave her bed. Happy Thursday to you too. You know what? The other thing I was going to tell y'all is I was like, I don't even know if anybody's going to be on this morning. Most folks probably going to catch the replay because the moon is void. So folks may be feeling like they're having a slow start to their day. You sound like you are aligned. Okay, T Luna. So I want to talk about this case study. I love case studies. It's one of the ways that I've learned from my teachers in astrology. Cosmic Homegirl is one of my favorite people to do these case studies. But honestly, this is how we learn astrology. Most every class I look at, or every class I take, there will be examples to explain the astrology. So I like using these because, first of all, it's interesting and it makes it not so personal. Like I don't have to be talking about one of y'all's read your business here live. We can look at something that's happening that we're all witnessing together and see how the astrology shakes out. One of the things that I will say, because I'm talking about Monique, Monique is one of my favorites. I'm not going to lie. I love Monique. I'm not going to say I'm a fangirl in the sense that I've seen all of her work or anything like that. I personally actually like Monique for the way that she is. She boldly says what she means and what she thinks. I like that she took on the establishment, much like Kwame. I guess I like rebels. I like how she took on the establishment. She came out and spoke her truth. Now, we have to hear everybody's side of the story. So I'm not saying Monique's, words are law. But I do respect Monique for saying what her side of the story is, and being unapologetic about it, I think it explains so much in how those who will rise in power in the Black community can begin to make, concerted choices on how you're going to be in engaging with the community and people who are up and coming behind you. Because I do think there's something wrong with the up level at times in our community. We're new to it in some regards, and so we have to figure out how do we, not get so lost in the system that we can't continue to help one another. How can we not get so lost in the system that, yeah, a lot of who we look up to and admire, they're there because of us, like so many people. And so it's like we've got to make sure that everything we do is something that nurtures our people. This could be for any group of people, but for me, as somebody from the Black community, I realize the importance of, as people begin to rise up in leadership, it is your responsibility. It is our responsibility, no matter how well known you are or not. If you have if you're at some level of leadership, and people are looking to you for guidance, it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to make sure that everything it's give and take. Let me just put it that way. We can't just have in the Black community, you know, people supporting us who are rising up and we don't give anything back, right? And so I think that Monique did a great job of explaining how it's hard as African Americans begin to ascend, and how do they keep their wealth? How do they keep their status and their position? Um, it sometimes requires what it takes to be up there at times, being cutthroat, which is why I said I wanted to be a movie star at one point, and I said, forget it. I'm not doing that. Let's see here. Who else is here? Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Karen. Johnny J. Eileen. Nice. Yes. Yes, Eileen. I like Monique, and I think it's sad how the community always does backlash against her when she speaks up. I agree, Johnny. I agree. And so I listened to a little bit of what she said about the bonnets. And I'm not going to lie, y'all. When she said she was in Mississippi, I'm like, when she's seeing the sisters in Mississippi, I'm from Mississippi. If you're from Mississippi, I say this with much respect, but there have been times when I'm just like, we're going to have to be working on the sisters. Now, it's a lot of sisters in Mississippi they're going to represent. She was at the airport, so I don't know if it was the women from Mississippi or it was just a group passing through. But there have been times when I'm sort of like, yeah, Mississippi, we got to step it up a little bit. I'm from Tennessee now, y'all. I was raised in Mississippi, living in Tennessee, trying to break free from Tennessee too. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But anywho, I did see a little bit of what she said about the bonnets. Personally, I don't take issue with bonnets. Now, I have told my family I'm not wearing no bonnet. First of all, I don't have enough hair for bonnets. But I'm seeing whole businesses take off because of this bonnet concept. I'm seeing whole businesses by Black women take off because of this bonnet concept, and how, of course, it's just straight up bonnets, because for real, like, y'all, come on, let's be real. Our hair is sensitive and we can't just be putting any kind of fabric on our head. We need bonnets. We need satin. We need silk. However, I do know I come from a generation, and Monique is just 3 years older than me, where that is something you do at home. Like, that's in our psyche. It's not in the young women's psyche. It's not in the young women's psyche. Young women are embracing these bonnets. I'm not into wearing pajamas out in public. It's so funny. My younger brother, so he's Uncle Carl to the majority of the family. He's Uncle Carl. He sat the whole lot of them down a few years back and said, don't be going out in public in your pajamas. I have no idea why Uncle Carl sat everybody down and explained this to them. But yeah, I don't want to be wearing pajamas out in public. But I just have gotten to a point where I'm like, you know what? Everybody is where they are. And so I do everything I can to avoid judgment, because I don't really understand where people are. But I do respect Monique for saying to herself, okay, wait a minute, we got a problem this is more than just a fashion thing, or this is more than just something that's neutral. This is a problem with perhaps self-worth and self-value. And that's her opinion. That's her opinion. And then I watched a little bit of a video where she's following up, responding to the backlash, and how she's like, you know what, I'm auntie status right now. And I would be wrong. As my mama said, I'd be wrong if I didn't tell you the truth, according to Monique. My mother was the same way. She would say, I'm gonna tell you what I think. You do what you want to with it. I would be wrong if I didn't tell you this. Because like she said, when she was out young, being a young comedian, and I don't know what she was doing, Patti LaBelle, who didn't even know her from, as we would say, Adam, pulled her aside and said, you get yourself together. You don't act like this. You don't let them see you sweat. You pull it together. And she said, you know, what if she had gone off on Patti LaBelle like that? Like, that's a concept we would not have done back in the past. Like, there's positives and negatives to my generation's upbringing, which is to respect the elders deeply and immensely. But sometimes it was to a fault. Okay, sometimes it was to a fault. But that respect was there, and it was just certain things that we wouldn't say. Even now, is certain things my generation, we just aren't going to say to elders. We're just not going to do it. And so, you know, she didn't say anything. And so now people are pushing back against Monique being in auntie mode. And it is, to me, and y'all can tell me what you think, I do feel like at times, my perception, let me not say I feel like, my perception is, if Auntie's saying what you want her to say, you're loving Auntie. If you don't like what Auntie is saying, all of a sudden folks pushing back about Auntie, pushing against Auntie these days. You know what I'm saying? This is why, to a large extent, it's so important for those of us who are we are in baby eldership training. That's where I am right now. I'm a baby elder, all right? Because I still got elders that I'm looking to like, I need your help. I'm not even close to being to their levels, right? But I do realize I'm at auntie status. I've gotten motherhood under my belt. I'm done with that phase of life. You know, I'm now mom to young adults. That's respectable. Okay, that's respectable. I've got a little bit of life under me. I got more life behind me than I do before me, right? And so it's important for the ones that come before me to be training me up, because to be auntie means that you're going to say some stuff people don't like. Sometimes people are, and I am actually in this phase a little bit. The being the favorite aunt is not my position right now in my family and some of the young people that know me. And it's, you know, it's like something I just got to be tough about. It's like, you know what? When they're ready to come back and talk to me, I'm good. I'm here for them. You know, this is something that aunties got to learn. You got to learn. You're going to be speaking up and saying things that people don't like. But something I want to say about, hey, Azizi, something I want to say about Monique is, if you see this, Monique, sis, call me. I will be your personal astrologer so that I can help you understand when to make these statements and when not to make these statements. But everything's happening the way it's supposed to. But I just wondered, why is Monique getting so much backlash right now? It's like Monique can't win. Monique being blacklisted for speaking up, talking about, I ain't gonna take these little pennies. You're not gonna treat me this way. Oh, you know, because she knows her value and she knows her worth. And you know how people didn't back her, and you know she's just all in trouble. So now she's all in trouble again. I'm like, okay, Monique. Okay, Monique. What's going on with the sister? So I said, let me look and see what's up with her chart. Yes, you got to respect the elders. You've got to respect the elders. I feel like the community has a secret hate relationship with Monique, and I don't know why, but it's disturbing. I'm with you, Johnny J. I'm with you. People love to come at Auntie when she ain't wrong. You're right. You're right. Y'all are all correct. So let's just go on ahead and let's see what the world is going on with Monique. So let me tell y'all some things that I saw immediately, like, I didn't even pull up her chart. And I was like, I already see part of your problem, Monique. So, so first of all, she is a Sagittarius. Now, I don't have her time of birth. So this is her solar chart, which means I'm using her sun as her primary, like the primary orientation of how we're going to look at her chart. So Monique is a Sagittarius. And why is that a big deal right now? Well, the eclipses are happening in Sagittarius and in Gemini. Now, I did not go back and look at the history of like what was going on when she was going through all of what she was going through. But I can assure you something prominent was happening in her chart. But just looking at this chart, you can see she's a Sagittarius. Now, what part of the eclipse is in? Oh, also, I see that her Mercury is in Sagittarius also. So, what part of the eclipse is happening in Sagittarius? Well, it's the part of the eclipse that has to do with releasing and letting go of things. So, I find that to be interesting. All Sagittarius are feeling sort of like, I'm not quite sure if I'm happy right now. It started last year where Sagittarius might just be feeling like, I really have to make some changes. And whenever you look at somebody's sun, you're looking at their career. That's going to be impacting their career or how they are coming off. A lot of times I relate it to the career, but how are they being presented, or um, what is standing out about them? And so, like for Monique, what stands out about her as a Sagittarius is that Sagittariuses are philosophers. They Now, I love all my Sagittarius, and let me tell y'all something. I love all the signs, but I will just tell y'all the truth about them. Something about Sagittarius is Sagittarius can be somewhat condescending. They don't mean to be. They are a bit of a know-it-all sign. They don't mean to be. It's just how they roll. Like Sagittarius is a sign that could be related to being very religious when it's not, being more of like a philosopher and someone who can see the big picture. And so it makes for people who can be a little bit zealous. And so here we have Monique as a Sag who already got a lot of opinions. Like Sagittarius, they really have a lot of opinions about everything. And then she has Mercury there, which means she talks a lot. Now, that Mercury being so close to her sun, this could be an indication of why she is a comedian. A lot of comedians are Geminis, or there's something prominent about their Mercury, because comedians are funny and they think really quickly. And so that Mercury being so close to her sun, that also lends her to being a comedian. But Mercury in Sag is actually not the best placement, to be honest with you, for Mercury, because Mercury likes to think in short statements. It likes to know a lot about a little. Excuse me, a little about a lot. It's very much about information. And so, her Mercury in Sag means that she might be someone with this great expansive mind, but oh my gosh, the way it comes off at times, it just may not land right. Even though in her comedy, it lands right. Her acting, it lands right. But yeah, that Mercury it just means that she's just really, really talking. And so the other part of the eclipse is actually happening in Gemini. So it's this push and pull. And then we see over here today, the eclipse, or Mercury and the sun, they're opposing each other, where Mercury and the sun are today versus where they're in her chart. It's this opposition, us against them. So this is another example of like astrology showing, why is somebody involved in this situation where it's this push and pull. This opposition is what it's called. Like she's facing a lot of opposition right now. It'll die down Well, I don't know when it's going to die down because Mercury's in retrograde, right? And so it could just flat out be that Mercury's in retrograde, and had Monique waited and said what she said, wanted to say, June 22nd, June 23rd, it may have come off a little bit differently. But because it's Mercury retrograde, it's like a lot of times with this kind of communication, it's just things just get thrown the frick off. It just gets thrown off. It doesn't land the way it typically lands. And so this is why I was saying I wish Monique would hire me to be her her astrologer so I could give her some advice about, hey, Monique, avoid these times when you're making these controversial statements unless you really want the controversy, because at the end of the day, some of this really does boil down to some attention is better than no attention. Hi, Erica. Hi, Regina. How are y'all doing? Let me see here. Let me scroll back up and see what y'all say. Okay, we all say it when we see it, I guess because she has a platform, but Black folks don't like to have their business in the street. That's true. Everybody got a problem with public bonnets. Ah, my gosh. They can come off preachy. They really can. They can come off preachy. I will say astrology has helped me to begin to learn to accept all of what happens because, or, the way each one comes off, even though everybody has to learn to refine it and find their way to make it work for them, because that's the other thing. Like when you come off preachy, you want to just make sure you find the best what you want it to land. I'm just going to say it that way. And I'm going to show y'all why I think she doesn't care. Why Monique is like, bring the heat. Let me see here. Yes. Okay. So let me tell y'all what I think is going on also with some other things that I noticed about Monique. And I honestly believe this is part of why I like Monique. So first and foremost, Monique doesn't actually have much water or earth. Well, yes, she does. That's a lie from the pit. She does have a lot of earth. She doesn't have much water energy, but some of her predominant energy is in fire and air. And what do I tell y'all about the sisters that have a lot of fire and a lot of air? They are not all the time appreciated. They are looked at as, you're too much. They may also be looked at as too aggressive, and it's just not respected. But the only time people don't like it is when they're the ones that have to deal with it. If a woman who is strong, is saying, hey, you need to fix this, you need to get this done, it comes out differently from a man who says it in the same tone, in the same way. And it's our programming. We're just not fully yet reprogrammed ourselves to accept some women are strong. That's how they're going to come off. And I actually prefer women like this, to be honest with you, because you never guess what's on their mind. Like you never have to guess a woman like this, what's on her mind. And they get over stuff quickly. Like they don't hold a whole bunch of grudges most of the time because their energy is quick. That's the thing about fire and air energy. It's quick. Those of us who are sensitive water signs, we're going to remember every piece of how you made us feel. And for Earth is going to remember like nobody's business. Earth will remember everything you did. Earth and water is just more feminine, and they feel things very deeply at times. And if you only know your sun sign, I encourage you to find out what is your rising sign, what is your moon sign, or maybe even what is your Venus sign, so that you can get a better understanding. Are you earth? Are you air? Are you fire? Are you water? Because just to know your sun sign is not enough for you to really have your entire blueprint and profile. Okay, so Something that I noticed about Monique is she has her moon in Aries. Now, I don't know her time of birth, but as somebody who knows astrology, that the degree of this moon makes me certain that moon is in Aries. So, what is Aries? That's the warrior energy. That's the energy. It's like, oh, you here for a fight? Let's go. You're here for, you want to go, we're going to go toe to toe. Like a moon in Aries, don't play with them. Okay. They could have everything in Pisces and Cancer and Taurus, which are very gentle signs, to be honest with you, whether y'all think that about Taurus or not. Gentle, I mean, Taurus is ruled by Venus. It's a gentle energy and it's not here for fighting. But let that moon being Aries, that's a scrapper, that's a fighter. So Monique is like, and the other thing about this Aries moon is Monique is going to be the first to say a lot of stuff. She is going to say what's on her mind, and she's going to be the first one to say it. It may be a whole bunch of us out here that will sort of like, I'm not sure about all these bonnets. I'm not sure. Monique is like, you know what? I know the rest of y'all heifers don't want to say nothing, but I'm going to say it. I'm gonna say it. But if you got this fire energy like Monique, it's gonna be people pushing back on you. And see, her moon, I mean her Saturn is in Aries. That is not a good placement for Aries. That's a placement where you can find yourself up against the establishment quite a bit. Your fight might get a lot of pushback. So that's something to think about. Like, I think to myself, I don't really know what's in her chart, but yeah, even just being 5 signs away from, if we look at her sun as like the way we set up this chart, that could create some problems for her in connections and having fun and business. I think that we'll see Monique continue to be successful as she continues to mature. It's just going to get better and better. She's really at this stage of life with this Saturn, she can make it work for her. Like, she could bring a lot of controversy, but make some good from it. She really can. And that's another thing that I see about Monique. She has Mars in Aquarius. So Mars and Aries, this combination of energy that she has, it makes her here for the fight. It makes her here to be about progress. So when she was saying, hey, y'all, I'm here as somebody who is saying to you, we've got to do better. This is her opinion. I'm not saying that I'm professing these views because I'm really neutral on the bonnets. But in her perception, it's about, I need to help my people get further down the road. And if I need to come through and burn some stuff down, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that. And see, right now, anybody who has planets, first of all, everybody's Aquarius house is feeling this pressure and this tension. And see, Monique feels it even more because she has planets in Aquarius, and her planet of Mars, which is the fight and his passion. It's about equality. This is one of the reasons why she's like, I'm sorry, if folks are wrong, I'm going to tell you they wrong, because we need to make this right. This is part of why Monique is very passionate in the way that she is. But now this Saturn, and it's just some other stuff. If you know astrology, the Uranus Saturn square is hitting this Aries, and it's putting this pressure on her, maybe in one regard, making her feel like I really need to say these kinds of things. But at the same time, it's pressure coming from the outside also. And there is this thing that is about knocking down boundaries and borders so that we can move forward. So it's a lot that Monique is willing to go up against right now. The other thing that I can tell y'all about Monique that made me say, Monique is always going to have somebody pushing back up against her. She's built for this kind of thing. She has Oya energy because she has her Venus in Scorpio. And Venus in Scorpio is not necessarily a good placement. It's a placement where a woman especially women, could be feeling like I'm being attacked, I'm being wounded. There's some type of wounding that comes to this Venus when it's in Scorpio. And so just the way people scorch her, they scapegoat on her, it's just this energy of, like you were saying, Johnny, people just going, pushing back against Monique. I think it's this Venus. But see, Scorpio is like this. Okay. And she has 2 planets in Scorpio, but the Venus is the one that we see the most acting out in her. Scorpio is like this. I can't be no lie, never gonna be a lie, always gonna tell the truth. If the truth is not around, I cannot have anything to do with it. And see, her moon is very similar. Her moon and her Venus are ruled by Mars, which makes her this energy of strength. Monique is a force. And so, to a certain degree, now that I see her chart, I know she is built for this. She's going to say what a lot of people are thinking but won't say. She cares about the community. Sometimes what happens with Scorpio is Scorpio is going to come and just rip everything apart. Everything is ripped apart. It's a mess up in this piece. We're going to just tear it all down. Just like Oya comes through with her tornado. People who have scorpionic energy, we know this energy of you're just torn down. It's like your life just gets scorched at times. But there's this energy of renewal and regeneration, and things are better as a result. And so Monique is here to do that. But by the same token, this scorpionic energy, people have Scorpio energy know. Sometimes you just feel like people just want to fight you. They just want to just challenge you, right? It's just a natural thing. But Scorpios, if you have scorpionic energy, sun, moon, ascendant, Venus, even if you have like Mercury or Mars there, I'm going to even say Saturn and Jupiter. If you have planets in Scorpio, maybe once we start talking, once I learn a little bit more about the asteroids, I can talk about, asteroids in Scorpio. But if you have energy in Scorpio, I can assure you this energy will make you somebody who is a bit controversial and prone to people pushing up against you. Let me just see what y'all are saying, because I've just been talking so much. Let's see here. In my humble opinion, Mo spoke in love. I didn't take it as judgment. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, a lot of times, once you start stepping in auntie phase of life, you have to say the hard things that people don't like. So I love Monique. I'm not here to try to make people love Monique. I just think it's interesting what's happening right now. Yeah, I know I can too. Venus in 5th house in Sag. So I try to be mindful, but I don't think she gives any. Yeah, she doesn't care. And I love that about Monique. I'm happy to see her chart, because it makes me feel like, okay, this is what she came here to do, actually. And it's a good thing. I taught my daughters the same. Please don't go outside looking a mess. It's something that has just been instilled in certain generations. And, I'm going to tell y'all how important appearance is. Appearance is so important. There are several places in the chart, certain transits that we have in astrology that speak to appearance. Wherever Venus is, when she goes into a new sign, it changes all of a sudden how we start seeing people take care of themselves. There is a whole planet devoted to appearance. There's a whole house or two devoted to appearance. There's a webinar that I just looked at, or I haven't taken yet, but I just saw it being advertised. What does your soulmate look like? Appearance actually is very important. Now, I'm not making judgment on people, because let me tell y'all something. There have been times when my appearance, especially after I was a new mom, it was not on point. There is something to how we care for ourselves and what we look like and our style. There is something to it. I'm not judging anybody, but there is something to it. So I do think if any young people who, are watching this and take issue with what Monique is saying, understand there's whole planets and houses in our chart that are related to appearance. There's whole concepts of how do I show up in order to get the effect that I want. Let me explain to y'all. When we're talking subconscious mind, the subconscious only speaks in pictures. It can pick up some of the words, the energy of the words, but the way we influence our subconscious, it's through pictures. Appearance actually matters quite a bit. I mean, like, I didn't even plan on saying this. Appearance matters. Now, how I appear, I need to make sure I'm choosing it from an internal place. I think that might be, to a certain degree, what people are taking issue with Monique. Somebody from the outside is saying, hey, get rid of the bonnets in public, not forever, because y'all know we need our bonnets, right? However, what Monique is saying, there's like a lot that could back it up that has nothing to do with Monique. It's just how the universe has been created. If appearance didn't matter, we would not have all this uniqueness in the way that we appear in the world. Our body, everybody would just look alike if appearance didn't matter. It does matter, but everyone needs to get to choose. And I see the bonnets to a certain degree. I'm not going to lie. I see the bonnets to a certain degree as rebellion. I just really do. I'm not going to wear a bonnet in person. Out in public. I bought a few to put on my hair that looks like little hats. The ones that I bought, they're just too tight. The elastic is just way too tight for me. But Black women's hair is so controversial. And when I say Black women, I'm not just talking about in the United States, around the world. Our hair is so controversial that whenever people are pushing back against systems, when it comes to that, to a certain degree, I'm okay with that. That's how I saw the bonnets. I'm not going to lie. I'm not wearing a bonnet in public, though. I'm just not. Okay. Yep. Like a Virgo, like an elephant. That's right, Azizi. The memories of the earth signs. They ain't forgetting none. Not a lie. I'm a Virgo. I remember all the details. The daytime, what I had on, what I was doing in the moment. Let me tell you something. You're not getting past these earth signs. Earth signs are like, got it locked in. Got it locked in. Need to know something? Contact a good old earth sign. Yes, she spoke in love. That's why I didn't see the wrong or fault in it, even though I don't agree with it. I agree, Kim. I'm with you. It's okay to disagree without wanting to cancel her. That is one of the most dangerous things I think we have going on right now. Is people are all or nothing. All or nothing. There is no middle of the road. It's like I'm all in with you or I'm all out. And I am honestly pushing myself to embrace please don't take the baby and throw it out with the bathwater. It's like, give people a chance and be okay with this phrase that we used to say in the past quite a bit. Be okay with agreeing to disagree. Because, honey, let me tell y'all something. If we aren't okay to disagree, it's a lot of relationships that's going to come crashing and burning down. It's a lot of relationships that will come crash and burning down. And we will find ourselves living and being on our own with nobody here around us. Nobody being here around us. And so, it's like, yeah. But this is the other thing that I'm certain about. Y'all can cancel Monique if you want. Y'all be back. She an auntie. She got a platform. Monique is brilliant. That woman is brilliant. And she cares. She cares. I'm saying, look who's willing to sacrifice their careers for what's right. And I want Monique to get her every bag. I want her to get every money bag. I want Monique to be as rich as Monique wants to be. I want her. I don't feel like walking your truth means that you have to be impoverished. I do think Monique might want to go to another country. And I think she would find some fame and fortune perhaps there with that Sagittarius energy. Sometimes you got to go outside your culture in order to, get those money bags. But I just really look at like, seriously, I'm very slow to jump on bandwagons because I think to myself, okay, what are you really doing? Like, you don't have to help me personally. I'm not asking these people in these positions to help me personally, but I'm not gonna be elevating people because I'm telling y'all, the more I learn about spirituality and hypnosis, the more I'm just like, wow, it's a lot of people running game on us. We are hypnotized, and it takes a little bit of doing our own introspective work and loving on ourselves and believing in our destinies to wake up to realize when a game is being run on us and we're throwing our money, we're throwing our cash, we're throwing our attention to a lot of people. But the question is, am I really supporting people whose values line up with me? And when I see the work that they're doing, like, people literally are like climbing out of poverty, or they're stepping more powerfully and profoundly into their destiny. Or is it they're just sitting around watching your video all day long? You ain't telling them, get up and go make that money. No, they're just sitting around watching your videos all day long. They're not feeling any more aligned with their destinies. They're going to your concerts, your events, but never really progressing, staying in the same spot. This is, I need to make a video about this, y'all, but I'm going to go ahead and just, start talking about this right now. One of the reasons I do what I do in my spiritual practices is because I said, you know what, year after year after year, I'm just sitting around doing the same old thing. I look through my journals and it's like just the same journal entry year after year after year. I so badly want to throw away my journals, but I'm like, no, I'm not throwing away these journals. I want to remember how I was not moving, how I was not progressing. And so I don't want to do a whole bunch of anything for you all that's not moving you and inspiring you to, at the very least, be more comfortable with yourself, so that the more comfort you have with you, the more you may be open to do something that doesn't feel uncomfortable. Because when we do new things, we may not all the time feel comfortable. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be sitting around doing a whole bunch of nothing. I'm not going to die out of here without having done something that lines up with my destiny, that has not, I don't want to die out of here without having done something where someone is like, man, because Tirra, Omilade, Michelle Powell Hargrove, my whole name, y'all, I just gave y'all my whole name. Because of her, I was able to carry on a little bit longer, or I was able to go on ahead and step off into some dream that I had been denying myself. But I just said, forget it. She said, it's in your chart, do it. These are the kinds of things that matter to me, that people progress, that people are better, that people feel more comfortable with who they are, and they're willing to take risk in their lives for themselves. These are the kinds of things that we need to be holding all of these people that we look up to. We need to hold them to this standard, and we need them to not hypnotize us as so many other people do, so that all we doing is just listening to their music, watching their movies, spending our money. But I'm like, I remember when I stopped watching TV, I was like, hold up. I'm helping these people get all these ratings. They're ascending year after year after year, and I'm in the same place on this couch watching them on this TV. I'm done. I gave up Oprah like overnight one day. I love Oprah. Oprah helped me at a time when I was very lost spiritually. She turned me on to Iyanla. Well, no, I found Iyanla before Oprah. But she turned me on to a lot of people that kind of helped me to begin to realize, okay, I can do this. I can do this spiritual thing. I can do it, right? But I remember when I was like, shit, I'm not scheduling myself to watch Oprah. No, not doing it. Because this is not getting me further down the path. If Oprah got something that's going to get me further down the path, which her book on weight loss helped me a lot, that's what I'm looking for. And so I respect Monique. And folk they're gonna wake up one day, or I saw someone's comment say they're gonna respect Monique one day too short. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I want to hear it on the day Monique dies, which I hope is very far down the path. But that day, I don't want to hear it. Monique is great today. So are y'all. Okay, let me see here. I feel people can do as they please if it doesn't make me poop. Excuse me. If it doesn't make me poop them, I can't. I'm not worried. Gotcha. Okay. I can't always see too well, but I do like how Monique spoke her truth for how she feels, and that's really all that matters. They loved her before Precious, and then after that film, she was hated. So honestly, that Precious role, I'm glad you said that, Johnny J. That Precious role is that Venus. This right here, this Venus in Scorpio, is why she was able to play that Precious role out so much. I could not watch that movie because it just seemed way too traumatic. As somebody who has experienced trauma, I could not watch that movie. But I do remember that was a turning point. And that Venus in Scorpio is why she was able to play that role so well. But I don't know why people hated her. Why did they hate her? See how easy it is to be manipulated by a movie. Thank you. Thank you, Johnny. That is true. This is another reason why I'm careful about what I look at. It's a lot of stuff we have to be careful. I appreciate it when my elders pulled me to the side to coach me. I felt the love and it helped me a lot. I do believe it takes a village. I agree, Erica. I really do. And I'm one of those soft and gentle elders. It's like, even though, like I said, I'm a baby elder, but yeah, because I know I got fire. I know, one of the words that some of my friends say to me is, after I tell them what I think, if you ask me your opinion, I'm gonna tell you. Okay. Scorpio, we can't say anything other than what we really think. My Pisces sometimes can make me not say stuff. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. But if you ask me and you seriously want to hear what I have to say, a lot of times they'll say, oh wow, that hurt. But it's true. But like my mama would say, I see why my mother would say this. Baby, I would be wrong if I didn't tell you the truth. I don't want to hurt people. I'm not saying make up and hair laid to the T, but don't go outside looking like you just rolled out of bed or about to get in it. Simple as that. Be clean and neat. Feng Shui for the body. That's right. We can learn from other people's views. Exactly, Ia. Okay. I hope she's building in Africa like the rest of us. Yes. Keep it moving in a positive way. Yes. So, okay. So let me tell y'all this last little bit about Monique. Something that I find interesting in her chart is, okay, so Sagittarius, the planet for Sagittarius is Jupiter. So where is Jupiter? Because this will tell you sort of how Monique will come off. Her Jupiter is in Virgo, which is it's actually not the best sign for Jupiter, because Jupiter is very expansive. And Virgo is like, okay, I see this little problem and this problem. As a matter of fact, her Jupiter and her Mercury, they're in each other's signs. So it's like she has this great philosophy, this great way. It's like she can see the big picture. She's a philosophizer. She loves, moving people towards a bigger vision. By the same token, she can nitpick the bleep out of anybody. Okay. She can see the problems. Now, Virgos don't get mad at me. I love my Virgos. I, as somebody who is Pisces, has depended on Virgos. So you'll never hear me ever, ever, ever bash a sign. I adore every sign. But let me tell y'all something. Virgo, let me tell you what Virgo does. Let's talk about the pure energy. It sees the problems. This is why Virgos get such a bad rap. The Virgo is like this. Okay. Can nobody see the problem in this room right now? Nobody can. Like, this problem is glaring. Like, to a Virgo Whatever is wrong with the concept, it's a big pink elephant in the room. The Virgo is like, how can nobody see this? Like, y'all can't see this. Okay. All right. All right. Like, and then it will literally eat Virgo up. It will eat Virgo up if they don't say what the problem is, because they know folks gonna send this on out the door. It's got all kinds of problems. It's got all kinds of mistakes. I can help you make this so much better. And therefore, if I don't say anything, I will hate myself. My stomach will hurt for days. I will not be able to eat. I must say it. So Monique cannot help herself. She's going to call everybody out. She's going to do it boldly. It will be in the name of progress. It will be because she loves and cares about us. And literally, she really does see something because of that Aquarius energy. Look at this. Her Mars and her Saturn are in each other's signs. So it's like Monique has these levels to herself. Like, she can see what needs to be done. She can see things that the rest of us can't see, and she will fight for it. She will push for it. I would love it if Monique became a politician, which I know she won't, but I think she would make an excellent politician. But at the very least, she can be a thought leader. And yeah, I feel like, okay, not worried about Monique anymore. She's doing what her chart says is there. Let me see. Hello, hello. Let's see here. Love me a Scorpio. Yes, Scorpios. You know I'm a Scorpio rising, Eileen. Scorpio rising. Jupiter in Scorpio also. So yeah, Scorpios. I love Scorpios. I teach my sisters that when you leave the house, you represent yourself, your brand, your light, and how you see yourself. And I'm going to tell y'all another thing. And the sisters who are my age, in my age range, which I was born in 70, so late 40s, early 50s for sure. In my opinion, they talk about black don't crack. Black does crack, okay? Black cracks. Don't take care of yourself. Your black is gonna crack, okay? And there comes this point where there's this hormonal thing that's going on for us, and all that natural beauty it's like I've got to accept I look different, even if to the majority of the world they may not see it. We know when we look different as we begin to get older, okay? And self-care is everything in maintaining our youth. Because see, black don't crack is true. However, if black don't crack doesn't hold up against all these chemicals that's out here that we're getting in our water, it's just so many chemicals in all this food that we eat. We talk about, especially black women in the US, in the islands. I always claim the islands also. The level of stress that we're under oftentimes, black don't crack don't hold up against that, okay? And so how we dress and how we carry ourselves, it means everything when we get older. But the other piece is, we know when we show up what lies ahead for us if we're not 100% on our game. We already know what the world's going to do. Like, you could walk out and be the best looking, and there's something you're going to have to come up against. Do we need to change that? Do I want to just put that one story in their consciousness? No. But it is a part of what I call strategy. And so for those of us who are older, what we're going to tell you younger sisters is just keep living, because it feels different when you get older and people just automatically calling you auntie. You like, okay, I didn't think I looked like an auntie, but I guess this gray hair is telling the story, So I do think it's a conversation that we need to have. And I do think that we need to hear, and maybe I'll do a little bit more research on what is it with the bonnets, with the young women. Like I said, I'm neutral, honestly, on the bonnets. To a certain degree, I kind of see them as an act of rebellion, and I love it. And so, yeah, it would be nice to know, but I don't think it's right for me as someone who knows in my consciousness and my psyche, you will not be seeing me out in no bonnets in public. You're just not going to see that. But I don't feel like I need to impose that on the younger women. Just because it's right for me doesn't mean it has to be the standard for other people. Then I want to be Olivia Pope and fix everything. I love it. 1975. Hey, Aquarian T, how are you? So yeah, Lafia. So yeah, this is something that I think is interesting. So what I'm going to tell y'all, my prediction for Monique is we're going to see Monique make some big changes. We'll see where she lands next year this time, just because she has those planets in Sagittarius. And those planets are, first of all, very important. Just personally, wherever your sun is, wherever your Mercury is, it matters. Okay. These are planets that we can get tangible results in our lives. But for her, it's apparent she's using these as a part of her career and as a part of the mission that she is here in for life. So she already has that going for her, that the part of the eclipse that is related to her sun sign and her Mercury is the part that's about releasing and letting go. Something is going to change even more for Monique. And we'll see where she lands next year this time, because there's one more eclipse in Sagittarius in December of this year, I think it is, which means that she has another 6 months. Bless all y'all Aquariuses out there. Oh my gosh. But I really can't say anything because my turn is coming with the eclipses coming up in Scorpio and Taurus. Look, I even lost my words. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. But then once the eclipses move into Scorpio and Taurus, especially once we get to about 2022, 2023, 2024, we're going to see a change for Monique again. We're going to see a change for Monique again. So at the very least, I think that we're going to see Monique's work change and her relationships continue to shift. And this is just looking at it from her sun sign. We're going to see her relationships continue to shift. And we're going to see her career shift even more. I'm not sure if she's just going to go in a whole new direction. We also may see Monique begin to make some changes in her appearance and what she looks like, or maybe we'll see some changes in like the amount of money that she's making, because it will be her Venus. But that's more of like 2023, 2024, something like that. The eclipse is and then her moon will start getting affected. So Monique has quite a bit of change on the horizon. She has quite a bit of change on the horizon coming, with which this year, I do think over the next year, we'll see some big shifts for her, as we are seeing with quite a few of the Aquariuses. And it's the part that's like, she needs to let something go that is perhaps holding her back from getting more in alignment with her destiny. And I really need to see, what is she doing? What is she doing with her her career right now? I just trained myself, study stuff that's relevant to my growth and my development, stay away from looking at too much of anything that's just for the sake of looking at it. So once I sort of got the story on her and the big to do, a couple of years ago, I haven't really kept up with. Does she have a blog? Like, how does Monique make money? So yeah. Wow. Monique, you're the woman. Call me. I will be your personal astrologer. I would love to do divination for you, Monique. I am here for you so that we can make sure that you maximize these charts. I need your time of birth, Monique. All right. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you for joining me today. I hope that this has been helpful. Let me know, how have the eclipses been for you? How's Mercury retrograde been for you? Is not been the most pleasant for me. Nothing really bad going on, just a lot of mishaps. It's just like I told my husband, it seems like things are just not going my way. It's small little things that happen. And he's like, things are going to turn around for you. Things are going to turn around. Let me tell y'all one last thing. Mercury retrograde is such a trip. And just everything that's going on, eclipses and Uranus, Saturn square, that the other day, my husband, who is a devout Christian and typically is like, girl, I ain't listening to all this astrology. He said, is it Mercury retrograde? He said, I just feel off. I'm like, you dare ask me about Mercury retrograde? Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Y'all take care. And I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next video. Again, let me know how things are going for you. Just drop a comment. And yeah, if you need a reading, goddessbodymindspirit.com. I have a calendar where I can get you fit in for a reading so that you can know what's going on for you over this next 6 months to a year. Also, I have an inner circle where I share like this on a regular basis. I share monthly and weekly astrology and wisdom so that you can stay on the straight and narrow and not make these kind of mishaps like Monique is having to dig herself out of. Anywho, I love y'all so much. Have a wonderful day. And yeah, you'll be seeing me again real soon. Peace and love. I think so, Erica. I think so. Divine breakthrough. I'm ready with grace and ease.